Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Weston Martinez here with my good friend Mike Arnold, former mayor of Blanco, Texas. And Mike is also at the crux of what's happening in Nigeria. We just recently did a brief overview about what's taking place over there. And I'm very thankful to have Mike's friendship for a long time and very thankful to have his support to be your next congressman for Congressional District 21. But today we're bringing an update about what's been taking place in Nigeria. And Mike, we were talking about it. What's happening? It's really world changing. What's going on? So let's just tell the folks kind of what's happening, please.
Sure. Yeah, what you need to understand is, historically speaking, the context we're in. It's as if it's 1940 and a podcaster stumbled into Auschwitz. And look what I found, and started sharing these pictures. This is a modern Holocaust, complete with concentration camps, complete with an evil regime that's set on world domination. And they have access to an enormous amount of mineral wealth and keep getting more. In fact, when they go in and wipe out these villages that are mostly Christian, pretty soon you start seeing the mounds of earth from the strip mining. And you got the Chinese largely, and it's not 100% confirmed. The ones we know of are going to the Chinese, could be more, but billions and billions of $billions a year of blood minerals being looted under the blood-soaked ground of the Northern Holocaust, and trucking to China. I mean, it's crazy. And this is super important because Northern Nigeria now, with the safe haven they've been given, with the wealth that they have, it's now, according to our own government, the epicenter of global terrorism. You got Al-Qaeda operating with impunity. You got ISIS. The folks we drove out of the Middle East, all that brutal videos and all that stuff that we saw, that's what these people are living through. But now they got mineral wealth, and now nobody's paying attention. And it's been raging like this for 10 years. It's horrible. And there are millions of Nigerians, peaceful, prosperous, a lot of them professional, educated people that have been driven out of their homes. And then the government denies them. They get no aid. They're cut off from any aid. Because they're eyewitnesses. It's a horrible, horrible situation. The government is not, I wouldn't even say complicit, they're symbiotic. They're one and the same when you get down to it with what's doing this. And there really is no Neville Chamberlain approach to this that's going to work. There is no, let's add an embargo here or let's do some kind of sanction there. Because first of all, they're sitting on $1 trillion a year in mineral wealth. $1 trillion reserves in mineral wealth. Right now, it's the oil alone is like $40 billion a year. And then you got the rare earths, the lithium, the gold, the tin, which is actually worth more than most of that. You got all that under the soil there. And when these jihadis get their teeth into that, their stated objective is global conquest. Their stated objective is global jihad. The next 911 is going to come from there if we're not careful right now. And China is going to keep growing and keep putting, this is what they do wherever they go. It really is an evil empire. And this is really a nexus of all that, all in the world right there at once. And it really needs to be cleaned up, and it's not going to be done easily. I'm afraid it's going to be pretty messy.
And so in a situation like this, when we look at the comparisons to what happened in Germany and what happened in the Holocaust and all those different things, and we said, if we had a chance to do it over again, that's where, like I've been asking you questions and we've been talking, and fortunately, Mike and I have known each other before all this. We never thought that the crux of the world's universe was going to be coming through Blanco.
Isn't that crazy?
Blanco County, Blanco, Texas, Blanco County, Congressional District 21, Central Texas. But thankfully, I have an oil and gas background, I have a mineral rights background, I have a water rights background. But with all that's taking place regionally, tell us a little bit more about the rare earth minerals and how they're digging through it, because I know that that's something we're talking about here in the United States, but most people don't realize what we do overseas does impact national security and our literal security. So talk about that and how they've been exploiting the people to get those things out.
Yeah, because when you're talking to minerals of that quantity, there's only a handful of customers on Earth. I mean, you got the U.S., you got China. You got Japan, you got South Korea, I think Germany, India, maybe one more. I mean, there's not a whole lot of customers. And I'm telling the people in Nigeria, choose wisely. Look at what the Chinese are doing right now to you. They're funding terror. They're funding corruption. I think you would want to cross them off the list, And, I'm not doing what I'm doing so the U.S. can get the minerals, but, as something that they should consider. That's because that's how, Trump is all about America first. And he's all about aid through trade, right? The reason you hear him now coming out and advocating for Ukraine instead of being in the middle is because now we have a national interest there, the minerals. Again, my ultimate goal for the Nigerian people is for them to be an industrialized nation, so they don't have to sell the minerals. They can be a mineral consumer themselves. And that's where their independence lies.
And the rare earth minerals, when you compare Nigeria to what's happening in Ukraine, I anticipate from what I've seen. Nigeria has,
it's vast.
I mean,
it's vast.
I don't know how you can put a number on how many more percentage, 50 times more, 100 times more than Ukraine.
Well, they say the hard mineral reserves, so petroleum is everything but petroleum. The non-petroleum mineral reserves is about $700 billion estimate. $700 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's the mineral reserves.
And so what we're really saying is that if America is not involved in how it's shaped and how it's crafted, then our enemies will be involved 100%.
Oh, they are involved. They're already doing it.
They're trying to do it now.
They're funding the jihad. Yeah.
Right. And that's really the point that I wanted to get to today. You see, my job is to surround myself with smarter people than me, okay? Mike is an expert that has been to Nigeria on missionary trips, non-financial missionary trips, 15, 16 times?
16 times, yeah.
So we're talking to someone that is a true expert on the region. There's other people that are experts on the region, but none that are right here in Blanco County in Blanco, Texas, that don't have an axe to grind except trying to save the people that are there. We should be against genocide anywhere in the world, especially political and or faith genocide, but it's never the Christians out there creating genocide on another religion. And so in this situation, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because people want to know,